Seneca once said, "You are afraid of dying. But, come now, how is this life of yours anything but death?" This quote perfectly captures the story of a man named Decimus, who lived in a grand villa on the outskirts of Rome. His home was a place of polished marble and heavy, suffocating silence. You see, Decimus was possessed by a singular, all-consuming terror, the end of his breath, the final moment of his life. To him, the world was a labyrinth of lethal shadows. He refused to attend the great games. Terrified that the rowdy crowds might carry some hidden fever, he shunned the spicy, delicious foods of the forum, dreading a sudden stomach ailment. Even the sun, the very source of life, was his enemy. He believed its midday heat could wither his humors and lead him to an early grave. So, he spent his days locked away in a climate-controlled atrium, surrounded by scrolls that preached the preservation of health. His meals were a sad affair, bland, measured, and completely devoid of joy or flavor. They were consumed not for pleasure, but only to sustain the mechanical, monotonous beating of his heart. He spoke to no one but his silent slaves, because conversation carried the risk of disagreement, and disagreement could lead to the strain of anger, which he believed would shorten his life. Decimus truly thought that by minimizing his exposure to existence itself, he was winning the ultimate battle against the Reaper. He had built a fortress of safety, but inside those thick, impenetrable walls, there was nothing but stillness. He wasn't living, he was simply existing. One autumn evening, his old friend Varro arrived at the gates. Varro was a stark contrast to Decimus. He was a merchant who had sailed the treacherous seas to Alexandria and walked the dusty, dangerous roads of Gaul. His skin was scorched by the sun, his hands were calloused from hard work, and a jagged scar ran across his forearm, a souvenir from a pirate's blade. As they sat together, Varro spoke with a booming voice, painting vivid pictures of roaring tides and the intoxicating scent of foreign spices. He laughed with a depth of spirit, a raw vitality, that Decimus had long forgotten could even exist. Looking around the sterile, lifeless hall, Varro said bluntly, "You live in a tomb, Decimus." Decimus, his voice barely a whisper, shook his head. "I live in safety. I am preserving my years." Varro leaned forward, the firelight catching the vibrant life dancing in his eyes. "To what end?" he asked. "You have no stories to tell, no scars to show, and no memories of the sun on your face. You're so afraid of the day your heart stops beating, yet you've already stopped feeling it beat. You've traded the brilliant, vibrant colors of existence for a long, gray wait for the inevitable." After Varro left, a profound silence fell over the room. Decimus looked down at his own hands, pale, soft, and unblemished. In that moment, he had a devastating realization. In his desperate attempt to avoid the grave, he had built one around himself. He wasn't avoiding death, he was merely practicing it every single day. This story is a powerful illustration of a common human struggle. So many of us become so preoccupied with avoiding the end of life that we forget to actually engage in the act of living. Decimus's safety was a hollow existence, a living death, because it lacked passion, connection, and experience. It's a profound reminder that a life defined solely by fear and stagnation is almost indistinguishable from the very death we seek to escape. Don't just preserve your years. Live them, fill them with stories, experiences, and yes, even a few scars. If this story connected with you, please like, comment, and subscribe for more content that makes you think. Thanks for watching.